Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation. But before presenting, let us introduce ourselves first. My name is Reggina Onggatta.
My name is Evelyn Situmorang.
My name is Syifa Fitri Hamzah.
My name is Shafiah Balqis.
My name is Dini Eka Maulida.
My name is Missy Ayu Andira.
And we are going to present our paper about analysis of code mixing and code switching found at Medan 56 MTQ event.
The content of our presentation are introduction, review of literature, methodology, finding and analysis, conclusion and references.
We'll begin with an introduction. Pluralism can drive code mixing and code switching in bilingual and multilingual communities. What are code switching and code mixing? Hoffman defines code switching as the alternating use of two or more languages in a single communicative event, whether at the level of sentence, clause, phrase, or even word. Meanwhile, for code mixing, Hoffman refers to the mixing of two or more languages within a single sentence or utterance, whether at the phonological, morphological, syntactic, or lexical levels. For the classification, Hoffman categorized code switching as intrasentential switching, intersentential switching, and text switching or emblematic switching. On the other hand, code mixing is divided into intrasentential mixing, intralexical mixing, and change of pronunciation. We have reviewed 5 literatures on code mixing and code switching, attempting to offer fresh insights based on a field research. Our analysis is on direct conversations with participants at a religious event, the Medan 56 MTQ. The data found shows a unique display where Arabic is found quite more frequently than in other event contexts. Also, although the base language in this field research is Indonesian and the study was conducted in Medan, Indonesia, however, English is found prominently mixing and switching the base language.
For the methodology, the researchers use a descriptive qualitative method to describe the types of code mixing and code switching uttered by the people who attended 56 MTQ 2023 in Medan. The researchers also collected the video there, watch, observe, and then make the script from the video there. Also, the researchers read, listen, and then identify the data, whether the data includes code mixing and code switching. And then the researchers also classify them.
After analyze and classify them, we finally found 22 data in total, which consists of 17 data of code mixing and 5 data of code switching.
For the code mixing, there is intrasentential mixing. So we took one example from the data that we found. There is the utterance, terus ada banyak buzzer, banyak stem gitu kan. We collect the data when we interviewed the speaker about this MTQ event. The speaker wanted to explain what is an MTQ, and she makes her sentence by using stand. As the definition of intrasentential mixing, stand is used in a clause.
Banyak belajar, banyak stand gitu kan. Yang ada di stand-stand ini juga mungkin bisa lebih meramaikan acaranya gitu kan.
Next, for intralexical mixing, we took one example from the data we found, that is the utterance. Toppingnya sudah habis ya kak?
Toppingnya sudah habis ya kak, sold out.
We collect the data when the researcher was buying ice cream at the ice cream shop there and asked about the toppings. The word topping is an English term that is usually used in food and beverage business. Meanwhile, nya is an Indonesian suffix that is used as a marker of defining certain things. The combination of English word and Indonesian suffix makes the word toppingnya is an intralexical mixing.
Moving on to the change of pronunciation. The utterance bazar tuh lebih kayak ke untuk bawa keluarga, anak-anak, yang jaga bakso. We collected this data near the main stage when we asked a group of college students about their experiences at the event. The term bazar originated from Persian bahacha, and then Indonesian adopt the word along with the pronunciation changes. Indonesian tends to read the word as it is written, so Indonesian pronounced the word as bazar. This means the speaker performs code mixing, specifically the change of pronunciation.
Next, we come to the code switching types. The first one is intrasentential switching. The example data that we found is the utterance Waalaikumsalam Kak.
Waalaikumsalam.
We took the data at Al Jamiatul Wasiliyah stand when we interviewed a stand keeper there. The speaker used Waalaikumsalam, which is an Arabic sentence that is a foreign language spoken by Indonesian speakers, where Indonesian is their base language. So it is the intrasentential switching.
The next type of code switching is intersentential switching. We only found one data, that is the utterance "Meriah sih, there's a lot of people kan."
Meriah sih, there's a lot of people kan.
We collect the data near the main stage area of MTQ when we asked a group of college students about how do they do at the time. Then the speaker responds to the researcher's question about the speaker's impressions of the events using one of the code switching, the intersentential switching. This switching happens without change of situation and occurs between sentence boundaries which are separated by a period. So the utterance will be "Meriah sih, period, there's a lot of people kan."
The last type of the code switching is state switching. We found only one data in the utterance, which is "Ramai sih, there's a lot of people kan." We collected the data near the main stage at the MTQ event when we asked a group of college students how they do at the time.
Meriah sih, there's a lot of people kan.
There is an Indonesia tag, which is kan, inserted into an English sentence. The utterance kan represents that the speakers wants to emphasize the statement before, which is there's a lot of people.
Finally, we come to the conclusion part of this presentation. To sum up, the researchers found 22 data of code mixing and code switching in total. For the code mixing part, there are 10 utterances for intrasentential mixing, 2 utterances for intralexical mixing, and 5 utterances for change of pronunciation. On the other side, the code switching part has 3 utterances for intrasentential switching, 1 utterance for intersentential switching, and 1 utterance for text switching. Not only English, the use of Arabic also found by the writer quite frequently in this event.
In addition, some people in the 56 MTQ event do code mixing and code switching for several reasons. Some of them do the code mixing and code switching unconsciously, and others get used to saying it since they got strong basic English since elementary school. And the data of the code mixing is more than the data of code switching. This is because most of them are not fluent in other languages unless Indonesians, which makes the code switching data less than code mixing.
And this is the reference section that we have taken as the reading source for this research.